Welcome back to the 321 segment of the Out of Class podcast, where we help prospective students and families discover universities from across the globe. I'm your host, Mehar from Year 13, and I'm thrilled to be here with Mrs Wardah Faruqui, who's McMaster's recruiter for the Middle East and Pakistan. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So this interview has been a long time coming. We first met a few months ago at Sunmarke University Fair. It was a different university fair coming here. And yeah, now we've organized this and we finally have you here.
Amazing. I'm so excited to be here.
Perfect. Okay. So why don't you tell us a little bit about McMaster and what would you say is the top 3 programs that they offer students?
Amazing. So McMaster University is a public university located in Canada. We are based in the province of Ontario. So in terms of what makes us stand out, I would say is also a combination of our experiential education as well as the flexibility that we offer to our students. According to a lot of the kind of feedback that we have received from students, what are the top 3 programs? So I would say it's a combination of our STEM-based programs for the most part. So we have a very world-renowned healthcare program, which is our medical school. So our health sciences program will probably be our number 1 in terms of the applications that we receive and the competitiveness. Then would probably fall into our faculty of engineering. So our engineering and computer sciences programs are quite popular as well. And then for my business grads out there, our business program is actually very famous. It's amongst the top 5% globally. So it's quite well known as well.
Oh, fair. Okay. And I read this somewhere, probably in Reddit or something, that, University of Toronto is like the MIT of Canada. McGill is the Harvard of Canada. What do you think McMaster is? Because McMaster, I've checked online, they're within the top 5 public schools. They're just I think they're one of the number 1 public schools here. I mean, in Canada, obviously. So what do you think where McMaster is on that sort of scale or who they are?
That's such a great question and definitely something that I haven't never been asked before. But so McMaster is considered to be the brain power of Canada. So I would say comparatively, it would probably be like Yale because of research, because of the amount of high academic standing that the programs offer. So maybe that's a fair comparison, but definitely within Canada, it's considered to be among the top 4 universities, public universities. So we are quite up there.
Fair. And I've said before that you are the recruiter for Middle East and Pakistan. Those are not niche, but those are specific appointed, locations, right? And you're based here. What are the differences between being an admissions officer and then a recruiter?
Amazing. That's another very good question. So I would say a recruiter's job is to promote the university outwardly. So my job is to go to students, talk to parents, talk to counselors, establish relationships, and build a initial trust as well as a perspective of what the journey at the university is going to look like. Well, our admissions team does all of the heavy-handed work on the back end. They're the ones who read all the applications. They look through the different transcripts and then make decisions based on those applications. So they're the ones who essentially determine whether a student is going to be accepted, rejected, or weight graded, of course, with the support of our faculty as well.
Okay, fair. And when you say in support of faculty as well, you're not faculty, but is there also communication or relation between you and as a recruiter and to the admissions board?
Absolutely. So essentially, a lot of the information and feedback that I receive from students, from families, from counselors is relayed back to the admissions team because we are the ones that are front-facing, while our admissions team are the ones that do the work on the back end.
Fair, okay. And when you were giving your first intro about McMaster, you said something about experimental learning, which kind of leads to my next question about not extracurricular, but more beyond about, you have the academics, but what else opportunities are out there? So I wanted to ask what unique research opportunities there are or experimental learning does McMaster do and how they offer students in all fields, not only sciences or like you said, the world-renowned medical field, but what about business or law, for example?
So our professors are the ones who essentially are the ones who are doing the research, and our students work alongside them as research assistants in very fun and interesting ways. So one example is our professor called Fiona McNeil. She designed a lab that represents a 1950s style diner. And her tagline is that it's a fun space for serious science. So one of the research that she's super proud of is actually her work showcasing how when women are exposed to high amounts of lead through makeup, that actually leads to earlier rates of menopause. So this is definitely something that has gained a lot of international renown. And so a lot of the students who are actually supporting her are our undergraduate students. So they work alongside her. The Live Lab is a very cool, I would say, niche research center that we have on campus. It's a performance-based research center. So one cool experiment that they do is that, so it's like a theater-style lab, basically. So what they do is that they experiment with sound, and they check how different kinds of sound affect different kinds of moods on people. So it's related to psychology, sound, pathology, and all of those kind of areas. And I would say one of the biggest bragging rights that a lot of our students have on McMaster is that we are home to the McMaster nuclear reactor, which is actually Canada's most powerful nuclear reactor. And it's the nation's only reactor that actually produces neutrons. So the thing about neutrons is that it's necessary for medical imaging as well as like treatment of different kinds of cancer. So yeah, that's definitely one of the, I would say, most well-known research centers that we have on campus.
That's actually, I'm first time hearing this, guys. And okay, that kind of threw me off guard, because like, wouldn't that be really great for like advancing the research? Because then that 100%, that's like evidence to show that McMaster is so ahead in the game. That's why, like, I mean, it's so far. Oh my God, okay.
So that's why I mentioned like we are considered to be like the brain power of Canada.
Exactly.
Because a lot of the advancements happen on the campus.
Right. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Well, my next question is not like as like intense or exciting as what you just told me right now, but we've mentioned before that McMaster is located in Canada, so specifically Hamilton, province of Ontario. But Canada itself is like a country that has such like big student hubs. You have Toronto, you have Vancouver, you have Montreal, all have great universities within it, such as McMaster. But why do you think pursuing higher education in Canada is more promising and suitable compared to other countries? And how do you think McMaster plays a role in that?
Amazing. So you kind of answered the question a little bit as well. So Canada is very well known for having supremely high quality education. The academic standing of a lot of these universities are like in the top 100, top 200 globally. So, and it's not just for like academic success, but also Canada ensures that students are able to get career success. So the thing is that you not only get like that academic quality, but also building yourself up like in terms of your career in the future. So it's also very good because it's also very inclusive, leading students to be able to pursue like postgraduate work opportunities so that they can stay back in the country even after they graduate. And this is specifically speaking about international students who want like not just an education, but a life afterwards. So universities play a big role when it comes to getting students ready, not just for the future, but also not just for the academic success, but also for their future. So there's nothing worse than, you know, a student who spends like 4 or 5 years studying something, but then they realize that they don't actually enjoy working in that field. So that is where like a university like McMaster is super helpful, because you have a lot of chance to explore first in different areas before you actually determine, okay, this is where I want my major to be in. And this is really helpful because you get an idea of what your future career is going to look like while you're a student. And so when students come to us from high school, they sometimes have this very clear-cut idea of what they want to be, what they want to do. Sometimes it can be with the influence of their parents, or sometimes it's from like their own perspective. And many times they end up pursuing that area as well. But then some of the other times, they might actually find out that there's a completely different area that they never thought of, that they're actually very passionate about, and they end up pursuing that for the rest of their lives. So at the end of the day, it's all about getting that experience, and that experience is what turns some of our, I would say, brightest minds to do amazing things. So I wanted to share the story of Liana Genovese. So she was a biomedical engineer. She was part of the biomedical engineering and health sciences program at McMaster. She happened to meet a woman with cerebral palsy like one day when she was doing some research. And she was very inspired by this woman because she was somebody who really enjoyed painting but could do that no more because of her condition. So she became inspired to kind of help her. And as a result, she ended up using her entrepreneurial spirit as well as her research skills to design a handpiece she called as Guided Hands. This is like an assistive piece that essentially allows anyone with any kind of hand mobility problems to do basic things like open doors, or to write or to paint, or even to use like a touchscreen device. And the phenomenal thing is that she was able to take this product to market. She's currently the CEO and founder of her own company, Imaginable Solutions, and she has taken this product to market in US and Canada. So just goes to show that if you have like ambition and a dream and like a passion for something, you'll be able to explore it within the campus. And Canada offers these kind of opportunities across different universities. So it's a combination of like strong academics, experiential education, and flexibility to explore that makes Canada and then subsequently McMaster a great place for students to be in.
100%. Okay. And it kind of shows like a mix of like the best of both worlds, because she went in as like a medical major, and then she kind of dabbled in business, and now she's a CEO of like, I'm pretty sure I saw this company on LinkedIn or something like that. We're in Dubai, so we wouldn't see it here, but 100%, I think I've seen it somewhere actually. So.
Amazing. Yeah, it's the impact that she has been able to create.
100%. So like obviously Canada. So you're the first Canadian university that we've had on here. So yeah, we've had US, we have UK. So finally more representation. But yeah, I guess that is pretty much it. This has been such a great conversation with you today. Is there anything you would like to leave with our viewers?
And just general advice, I would just say that like high school is a very short time in a student's journey, and then after that you have your university journey, and even that is quite short. So it's all a matter of like living in the moment and kind of taking each experience as it comes. So look at me sounding like an old woman, but enjoy every day as it comes. And then when it comes to university applications, you have lots of support around you. You have your counselors, you have your peers, you have your parents, but then you also have the immense power of the internet. So definitely do your research and take the advices that everyone has to give online. And yeah, good luck to you.
Right, okay. So for you guys to know, I've also applied to McMaster as well. Application is very simple, and it's not that complicated. You go through the Ontario University Application Center.
Spot on.
I've had my own difficulties with the platform, but McMaster has been very smooth throughout the way. But yeah, well, that's a wrap on the 321 segment. Thank you so much for being here. And if you guys are interested in applying or learning more about McMaster, just check their website. They have, I think, virtual tours. You guys offer that as well. Check their YouTube, everything. And yeah, thank you so much. Thank you as well again, once again. And we'll see you on the next segment. Bye.